Monroe County men are given a stern warning about human trafficking today. Detectives set up false ads for escorts in Stroudsburg and waited for the calls to come in. News 13's Brittany Michaels joined in on the action. The Penn East pipeline is now awaiting approval before construction can begin, and a windmill turbine site is proposed in Penn Forest Township. These projects have caused major reaction from residents living near the project sites. We have breaking news tonight. A Carbon County woman is being charged with murdering her mother at their Palmerton home. It's an old adage, but very true. One man's trash is another man's treasure. And the Carbon County Environmental Education Center is putting out a plea for any gift cards you can't use or simply don't want. A Northern Lehigh teacher is accused of possessing child porn. According to court documents, state police connected a Yahoo account that was uploading images to Jonathan Dufresne of Walnutport. A Carbon County man is arrested for running a marijuana growing operation inside a Monroe County private community. A fiery Monday night crash on Interstate 380 near Mount Pocono leaves 2 teens dead. Now police are investigating if Facebook Live is to blame. The average American spends about 56 hours per week seated. If being more active is part of your New Year's resolution, Carbon County trainers say start slow. Taking on too much too fast will make you less likely to stick with it all year long. Set small and attainable goals and schedule partner or group workouts to hold yourself accountable. George, the homicide happened just back here. As you can see, there is police tape preventing us from getting any closer. We're told there is another victim who was taken to the hospital and is being treated. That's right, George, and it'll really only take you 5 minutes to do this, maybe a little more if it's this windy. You want to make sure there's a clear 3-foot radius surrounding the fire hydrant and a path to the street. There are ways to check an ATM before you use it. First, make sure everything is in place and nothing is loose, especially where you insert your card, because most skimming devices are installed here. You want to make sure your side mirror is angled so that you see almost all road and hardly any of your car. And when you do age, sometimes you lose a little bit of your height. So checking your seat position is also really important. Lastly, take a look at your rear view mirror and make sure you can see everything going on behind you. This slope in Carbon County is the first one open in all of Pennsylvania. Even though the mine fire isn't on ground level, I can still feel the heat just standing here. The tread is what makes snow tires different. These special grooves push out snow and ice quickly so that your tires don't slip. A dispute between a Boy Scout who was asked to leave his Boy Scout troop is really what sparked all of this. We spoke with a local Scout executive who says the Boy Scouts really focus on serving the whole family. An early morning fire amidst this blizzard creates a tricky challenge for fire departments. New statistics show over 13,000 people died from overdoses in our country last year, and that number is expected to more than double this year. That's why events like the one tonight are so important. This is Tamaqua's 50th annual parade, and we have Brian Keek with us today, who is the organizer of tonight's event. Brian, what can people expect to see here on these streets in just a little bit?
Well, the Midnight told us the best team in the cheer industry is the one everybody is chasing here, the Brandon Black. Here's Ashley Dyer.
Bryce, with Brandon All-Star Senior Black last year, your team won the Triple Crown, and now you're in contention to win again. How does it feel?
It's awesome. It's a great feeling.
News 13's Ashley Dyer is live outside of the Northampton County Courthouse now, where the district attorney has just held a news conference. Ashley?
George, we do have new information tonight. The victims have been identified as 64-year-old Joseph Molnar and 62-year-old Melinda Molnar. Officials did confirm Joseph Molnar and the suspect were cousins. When police arrived on scene last night at around 6:30, they found Joseph Molnar's body in the front lawn. Tonight, the Northampton County coroner confirmed he was shot at least 5 times with 2 different guns. Melinda Molnar was taken to the hospital with very serious injuries.
Based upon the investigation at the present time, it is my understanding, and this will have to be pursued in more detail. It may have involved financial issues, but it certainly was not something that just was a spur of the moment. There was some kind of ongoing problem between the cousins.
Police searched Hand's Bushkill Township home this morning. A few hours later, Hand was spotted in a black pickup truck near the intersection of Oakland and Hecktown Roads in Bethlehem Township. Today, Lehigh Township police are still on scene at the Longacre home where the murder happened. Laura Carney lives across the street and says there's never been gunshots in her neighborhood before.
I did hear the gunshots and they were real close. I just thought right away somebody got shot. I don't know why I thought that, but I did.
Carney says she immediately locked up her house and stayed inside. Multiple shots. Did you hear a couple?
Yeah. I'd say, what I remember, I'd say 4 or 5 shots that I heard.
Hand was just arraigned via video from the Northampton County Jail. He's charged with homicide and attempted homicide, but other charges are pending. Live in Northampton County, Ashley Dyer, News 13. Marie, back to you. George, that's right, and the jury's being selected here in Chester County as an attempt to find an unbiased jury pool. Attorneys say they're looking for fairness in this trial.
We are very happy that this process is underway. It's been over 2 years now. We look forward to selecting a fair and impartial jury in this matter, bringing them back to Pike County and seeking justice in this case.
Eric Freen looked relaxed this morning as jury selection began. Over 1,200 people were summoned as jurors, but only 12 of them will decide Freen's fate. Pike County District Attorney Ray Tonkin is seeking the death penalty. We spoke with Freen's attorneys today, who tell us his family is worried.
They're the parents. So, how would you feel? This is just, they're nervous. As a parent, I'd be nervous too.
Today, 300 jurors were summoned, but only 104 of them showed up. The judge explained the trial process, asking them multiple questions. One of them, who here is familiar with Eric Freen? In response, over 75% of the jurors stood. Both attorneys say they expected this due to the high profile of the case. Day 2 of jury selection starts tomorrow. We'll be following the process and we'll keep you up to date. Live in Chester County, Ashley Dyer, News 13, George. Tonight, the child's parents, Melissa O'Brien and Joseph Navarre, tell us they were worried for their daughter and have no idea how she got a hold of meth.
I was terrified of my daughter's condition, but swallowing one of them pods will test as a false positive.
So you don't think it was meth?
I guarantee it wasn't.
How did you get the laundry pod?
That I don't know.
I would never hurt her or my son.
On January 5th, Lansford police searched this home where Joseph Navarre and Melissa O'Brien live with their 2 children. Officers discovered items linked to the production of meth, including melted plastic bottles and measuring cups with residue, a bottle of drain opener, plastic tubing, and Coleman fuel. Are you making meth in the house upstairs?
No.
Obviously, we have a 7-month-old that somehow, unknown, ingested the methamphetamine or the methamphetamine residue, which I can't think of something worse right now than a scenario where you have explosive hazard, fire hazard, inhalation hazard, and young children exposed to drugs.
Sadly, this may have not been the baby's first involvement with drugs. You didn't have meth in your house that the baby got a hold of?
Nope. And I don't even understand how my baby got a hold of cocaine when she was born either. That amazes me.
Just 2 months ago, O'Brien, Navarre, and baby Valerie were in the national spotlight.
Our daughter is his child.
They appeared on the Maury Povich show to determine if Joseph Navarre was the biological father of Valerie.
You are the father.
Now authorities will try to determine if the 2 were involved with a meth lab in their home.
They're both charged with the same things. They're charged with operating a meth lab with a child present, endangering the welfare of children. The defendants are aware that this is obviously a very serious situation and that there's going to be some serious charges coming out of this.
The children are currently in foster care. All charges were waived to a pre-trial court hearing. Bail is set at $100,000 each for Navarre and O'Brien. Ashley Dyer, News 13.